Nathan McDonnell was born in the small town of Tralee, County Kerry, Ireland. Growing up in the midst of a quiet, picturesque community, he always had big dreams of success. With a natural talent for business and a strong work ethic, McDonnell quickly rose to prominence within his town. He took over Ballyseedy Garden Centre, a small family business that specialized in plants and outdoor furniture, and expanded it into an all-encompassing operation. The garden centre grew to include a restaurant, cafe, and event spaces. Over the years, Ballyseedy became a thriving local hub, attracting customers from across the country. McDonnell was a savvy businessman, understanding the importance of branding and community engagement. He became involved in the Tralee Chamber Alliance, working to promote economic growth and the vitality of the town. His personal brand extended beyond business. He was known for his regular appearances at local events, including the prestigious Listowel races, and his expert gardening tips shared on Ireland AM, a popular national television program. His success led to a luxurious lifestyle. He lived in an upscale home, drove an expensive car, and seemed to have everything anyone could wish for. But beneath the polished exterior, trouble was brewing. Despite his apparent success, McDonnell was living a life full of financial strain. His expanding business, while seemingly successful, was built on shaky ground. The economic downturn, a series of personal missteps, and some risky financial decisions put McDonnell in a vulnerable position. He began accumulating debt. At first, a manageable sum, but eventually it ballooned to a staggering €4 million. The weight of these debts began to erode his carefully constructed empire. Yet, McDonnell was unwilling to let go of his luxurious lifestyle. His desperation to maintain his wealth and status would soon push him down a dark path. As the debts piled up, McDonnell's financial troubles became undeniable. His businesses, though profitable, were no longer enough to keep up with the mounting interest on his loans. He faced pressure from creditors, some of whom were patient, but others were becoming increasingly demanding. His ability to maintain the lifestyle he had built, expensive holidays, top-tier cars, and lavish parties, was being eroded by his financial struggles. McDonnell tried various methods to solve his problems. He sought loans from banks, tried refinancing his business debts, and explored ways to cut costs at Ballyseedy Garden Centre. But no matter what he tried, the numbers never seemed to add up. With every attempt to keep his head above water, the tide of financial strain only grew higher. There was a sense of urgency that McDonnell could not shake off. He needed a way out, fast. The more desperate McDonnell became, the more he opened himself up to dangerous influences. The world of organized crime, which had always seemed far removed from his business dealings, began to seem like an option. A well-connected individual made contact with McDonnell, offering him a solution that would both resolve his financial woes and provide a huge cash payout. It was a tempting proposition. McDonnell would facilitate the importation of drugs into Ireland, a business that promised instant rewards. The Sinaloa Cartel, one of the most powerful drug cartels in the world, was involved, and the operation seemed sophisticated and lucrative. McDonnell was promised €150,000 for his involvement, a sum that would allow him to pay off his debts and restore his lavish lifestyle. The cartel promised him more money if he helped with future shipments. At first, McDonnell hesitated, knowing the risks involved. He had always prided himself on his integrity, but the pressure was too great. The allure of money and the thought of escaping his financial problems clouded his judgment. McDonnell made the fateful decision to join the operation. Nathan McDonnell was soon caught up in an operation that was far more dangerous than he had ever imagined. The drug smuggling scheme involved the importation of 564 kilograms of crystal methamphetamine, hidden inside a large recycling machine. The machine had been imported from Mexico, and once it arrived in Ireland, McDonnell was tasked with storing it at his garden centre until it could be exported to Australia. At first, McDonnell convinced himself that he was simply helping facilitate a business deal. The nature of the cargo didn't seem to concern him too much, but deep down, he knew what was inside that machine. McDonnell knew that facilitating the import of drugs was illegal. Still, the promise of 150,000 euros was too good to ignore. His debts had eaten away at his life for so long that the chance to eliminate them with one simple deal was too alluring. He stored the machine at Ballyseedy Garden Centre, where it remained for weeks. As the days passed, McDonnell's unease grew. He began to question whether the reward was worth the risk, but it was too late for second thoughts. The cartel's reach extended beyond Ireland, and once McDonnell was involved, there was no way out. In early 2025, the guards launched a large-scale operation to disrupt the drug smuggling ring. They had been monitoring McDonnell and his associates for months, gathering evidence and preparing for a seizure. The recycling machine, which was scheduled to be shipped out of Ireland, was intercepted before it could leave. Inside, law enforcement officers discovered the hidden crystal methamphetamine, valued at 32 million euros. McDonnell's involvement was undeniable. He had stored the machine and coordinated its shipment. Authorities arrested him immediately, and he was charged with importing controlled drugs and facilitating an organized crime group. He was brought before the Special Criminal Court, where his defense tried to argue that he had been unaware of the true contents of the machine. However, the evidence against him was overwhelming, and his plea of ignorance was not accepted. In February 2025, McDonnell was sentenced to 12 years in prison for his role in the drug smuggling operation. The court emphasized the international scale of the crime and McDonnell's significant role in facilitating it. His once promising future had come to a crashing halt. The businessman who had once been at the top was now a convicted criminal, facing the harsh reality of life behind bars. Portlaoise Prison, one of Ireland's most notorious correctional facilities, became McDonnell's new reality. In stark contrast to the luxurious life he had once led, McDonnell now had to adapt to the harsh conditions of prison life. He quickly learned that life behind bars was not a place for the faint-hearted. McDonnell made enemies almost immediately. His past connections to organized crime and his role in the drug trade didn't sit well with other prisoners. The most dangerous figures in the prison, many of whom were associated with the Sinaloa Cartel and other criminal organizations, saw McDonnell as a target. One such inmate, a known associate of the Sinaloans, attacked McDonnell in the prison yard, leaving him with a broken jaw. The assault was said to have been orchestrated by Thomas McConnell, a powerful figure in the prison's criminal hierarchy, who was unhappy with McDonnell's refusal to transport contraband drugs within the prison. McConnell believed McDonnell's actions were disrespectful to the prison's unspoken rules, and he wanted to make an example of him. After undergoing surgery, McDonnell was placed in solitary confinement for his protection. Yet, even within the confines of the prison, he remained under constant threat. The Sinaloa Cartel had placed a target on his back for his role in the seizure, and McDonnell lived in fear of their retaliation. His life had turned into a constant battle for survival, both physically and mentally. McDonnell spent his days in prison reflecting on the choices he had made. He had once been a proud businessman, a respected figure in his community, but his involvement in the drug trade had shattered everything. His family, once proud of his achievements, now had to live with the disgrace of his criminal actions. His employees, who had looked up to him, were left with the fallout of his betrayal. The impact of his decisions extended far beyond his personal life. The drugs he helped import were part of a much larger network that caused untold harm to countless people. McDonnell's actions had helped fuel the global drug trade, a trade that was responsible for the destruction of many lives. Nathan McDonnell's story is a cautionary tale of how easily success can slip away when faced with overwhelming pressure. His rise to the top was marked by hard work and determination, but his fall from grace was just as swift. His involvement in organized crime serves as a stark reminder of how far some will go to maintain their wealth and lifestyle, even at the expense of their morals and the well-being of others. McDonnell's downfall not only cost him his freedom, but also tarnished the reputation of the businesses he had once been so proud of. As he continues to serve his 12-year sentence in Port-Leash, McDonnell has time to reflect on the consequences of his actions, but it is unlikely that he will ever fully escape the repercussions of his choices. His story is one of tragedy and warning, of how a single misstep, motivated by desperation or greed, can destroy everything you've worked for. It's a story that serves as a reminder that success is fragile, and that even the smallest compromise can lead to catastrophic consequences. That is our video for today. Like and subscribe, and let us know in the comments section what you think of today's story, and I will see you on the next video.